Hey yo, Pyro, motherfucking Mayfield. Dope boy fresh.
Dope boy fresh from my head to my feet, bitch. Dope boy fresh, serving fiends in the street, bitch. Dope boy fresh, I'm a monkey on them trees, bitch. Dope boy fresh, I know they see me. Dope boy fresh season. Dope boy fresh season. Dope boy fresh season. Dope boy fresh, I know they see me. Dope boy fresh, I be cleaner than a mannequin. Dope boy fresh in these streets, ain't no panicking. Dope boy fresh, yes I lead by example, and I'm dope boy fresh. My nigga, I wasn't handed shit. I passed nigga.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to a brand new edition of Sentell live on Facebook. I am your host, the one, Sentell Wiseman. Applause, hold the applause, hold the applause. Welcome into the show. Got a lot to discuss today. We're going to talk about the NBA Finals, Game 5, of course, plus some college football recruiting news, a huge story out of college baseball this weekend. Also, we're going to talk about maybe a little bit, a smidge of the U.S. Open starts this weekend, if you care. University. He now resides in Tampa, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, Keith Dennis.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. You done my last, the other show I had. You was on there. This your first appearance on Sentell's Intel. What you think of the new digs, man?
Man, y'all only seen it, man. This boy's for real with this thing, man. We want to start it off right, man. But thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, no problem. Oh, speaking of the Clemson Tigers, they went to the White House today. I think most everybody went.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think everybody went. Which,
like a couple players didn't show up. So.
okay. I mean, which is good either way. If you don't want to go, I'm fine. If you do go, I'm fine. I think you should go because of the experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, regardless of what your political affiliation. I think you should go. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and you've been honored for being a champion. So I think the college kid, more so than the pro kids, should definitely go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. One of the things that's synonymous with winning championships is going to visit the president at the White House, along with Disney. So let's say one of your kids didn't like Mickey Mouse. Would you not take your kid to Disney after you win the championship? So, kind of the same thing. I'm with you. That's one of the things, once in a lifetime experience to go visit the president. So, I think you should go whether you agree with everything that the president does or not.
Outstanding. Of course, we're going to talk about Game 5 tonight. Of course, we're going to talk about the NBA Finals. But one thing that happened over the weekend that most people may not know about because, let's face it, it's college baseball. But a huge story came out of college baseball. Let me bring you up to speed. This guy named is Luke Heimlich, like the Heimlich maneuver. He pitches for the Oregon State Beavers of the Pac-12. And Oregon State has just come off one of the greatest regular baseball season in the history of college baseball. He is the ace, a projected top pick in this upcoming baseball draft. So we set the scene for that. So Friday he was scheduled to pitch, and it got back to reporters that he said he is pulling himself from the start. So obviously questions arose, like what's going on. So no one knew what happened. Then on Sunday, we got the whole story. So apparently, Mr. Luke Heimlich is a registered sex offender. Let that sink in for a minute. Now, if you joined me on the show Monday, Thursday night, we talked about Joe Mixon and how much vitriol he got for his act, which I don't condone being women. Let me say that. I have to say that so many times. I'm not condoning what Joe Mixon did. I'm just saying he was an 18-year-old kid. But what I also said was 3 things that you can't come back from: murder, rape, and messing with little children. So apparently when Luke was 15, he sexually molested a 6-year-old. So let that sink in. So I know it's college baseball. The story is under the radar. But I don't know about this. I don't think he should be playing baseball. If you had your pitchforks out about Joe Mixon playing football just for one momentary lapse, this is appalling to me. What do you think about this situation? You have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a very, very touchy subject. You know, I have 2 daughters of my own, so you know it's it's something to really ponder and think about here. It's something egregious. He was 15. The young lady, not young lady, the little girl was actually 6. And she was a cousin, of his. So that's
even more.
That makes it even
more disturbing.
Yeah, more disturbing to the fact. But I got a little bit different take on it. I know. He did this act, and he was 15 and she was 16. But we don't know the whole story on it. That's one thing about it. my point in saying that is, he's 15, she's 16. That's something very egregious. Yeah, she's 6. I'm sorry. That's something that is egregious. But I think that sexual molestation and those things that when an adult touches a kid, I think that's something that that comes in cycles. So my thing is, I said all that to say basically that I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line, this is something that happened to him, and caused him to do that to that little girl.
Well, not to get so psycho. I'm not trying to be Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
This is a sports show.
You're right.
My point is, if you were up in arms about Joe Mixon playing ball, this guy should not be playing. This guy should not be playing baseball.
Yeah,
he should not be allowed to play sports. Now, what is rehabilitation? What is the right steps? What do you go through to say somebody who's rehabilitated from doing this? Far as I know, was it in the jail time, which I think should have been a definite must. He was a juvenile. I don't know if he. I don't know. I don't have that whole story in front of me.
He didn't face any jail time. He went to I think it was 2 years of counseling, and he had to take a class. Is all they said he had to do.
So I'm not a therapist. Do 2 years of counseling solve this problem? But what I do know, if you was up in arms about Joe Mixon, I need you to be up in arms about this right here, because this went under the radar because it's baseball.
Yeah.
If this was a football player, first of all, he wouldn't be playing football. There's no way a coach in the country would be able to have a player like this on their team. This is baseball. This is the only reason this is went up under the table, and that's the only reason he's playing ball right now. Thank you, Chris Major. Yeah, so we're gonna move on from that. This is a sports show, but I talked about Joe Mixon last week. I just want everybody to hear this. This is a crazy, amazing story because the guy's been on campus for 3 years now. He's now 21. This little girl is, I don't know how old she would be now, but it's 5 years later, so she'd be 11 or whatever. But he's been pitching, and it only came to pass because he didn't report. And one of the reporters from the school paper picked up the story, because once you don't report, it becomes a story. And that's the only reason it got picked up. And apparently, Oregon State baseball team does not do background checks, which is, you have to do background check to get into a technical school. How in the hell do you go to a 4-year university and not have a background check?
And it's like they're going, not just that, he's going to a 4-year university and they're paying for his college essentially, and you still didn't get a background check when they're giving you money, or that's pretty crazy.
So yeah, we're gonna get off the Luke Heinrich subject. I mean, I thought I was gonna come in here on June. First of all, I thought the Cavs would lose Friday, so I figured, man, I have nothing to talk about. So they win, then you get this story. So forget what you heard about June. Forget the slow news cycle. We got news. Anyway, we're going to segue from that Luke Heimlich story. We're going to move on to the NBA Finals, of course. Just your overall thoughts of the series so far. What you think going to happen tonight? Predictions. The floor is yours.
Yeah, it's honestly difficult to say this, but it's gone completely different than I thought it would go for this series. You know, it's one thing to see the Golden State team and see Cleveland and how they're playing in the East, and think logically that they should match up better on paper. But when you get out there and play the games, that Golden State team is a completely different beast. Nobody thought that Durant would show himself to the tune that he's shown himself for this entire series. So. Hats off to Golden State. Those guys play, a different brand of team ball than what we've seen in the NBA before. Now, again, they were already a good team before he got there, and then now that he's there, he is the second best player in the world, honestly, to me. So it's difficult, to try to predict how it's going to go tonight, based on how the series been going. But let's say Cleveland had their best game of the series, and honestly, Golden State was still in that game until the end. Nobody thought that they would be completely out of the game until you got about 2 or 3 minutes left, and they took out the starter. So it's going to take even better effort for
Herculean effort
for them to pull one off tonight. But we'll see. I don't really know what's going to happen tonight, so I don't have a prediction. Maybe I think Golden State will tonight, eventually, but I'm just hoping for a good game.
Yeah, I think both of us had Cleveland in 6 before the series started. Am I correct?
Yeah.
I think the first 2 games, I knew that my prediction had went south.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Game 4 was your classic. You up 3-0. We got Game 5 at home. And as you can see, they played flat. Cleveland came out because they didn't want to get embarrassed and be swept at home. So I was not surprised. I was surprised because I thought they were demoralized from Game 3. But the Warriors played that game, other than KD, played that game like, hey, man, we know we got Game 5 at home. We don't care about this game. And that's how they played the game. Their mentality was that way. You give up 86 points in the first half for a team that's like 1 or 2 in defensive stats all throughout the NBA, and you give up 86 points. You can't tell me that they didn't have that. They was already back in Oakland. And I think what's gonna happen tonight, in the honest opinion, as a Cavs supporter, it hurts me to say this. The Cavs are gonna get their ass whooped tonight. I think the Warriors are gonna beat them by at least 20. I think they're gonna come out with a barrage early on, and I don't think Cleveland will ever even be in the game. Now, I hope I'm dead wrong, obviously, because I like LeBron and Kyrie. But that game the other night was clearly Golden State had nothing to play for. Now, that one guy who ain't got a chip, now you saw he played well, KD. The rest of them guys played like, man, we got a Game 5 at home. This team ain't come back for 3-0. But let me say this. And it's a huge if Cleveland was to win tonight, all the pressure would shift to Golden State. And I think we would have a Game 7. But I think it's over tonight. I think the Warriors celebrate. KD came, he saw he conquered. I mean, when you add the second best player in the world to a 73-win team, I mean, I don't expect. Only reason we all pick Cleveland because they got that one guy that we think can do superhuman things, right? Because if you just put that team on anybody else and it win LeBron over there, they'd be like, man, this is sweet. They'll lose by every game by 30. We only give it credit because of the greatness of LeBron that we thought that they could even remotely have a chance. I thought they would win because of the greatness. But when you, and like you say, once you see it physically, Kevin Durant on this team that won 73 games, and you see how they play, and you got 3 guys that can just go out there and get you 30 a night, just can go get you 30. I mean, this is too much firepower. I hope I'm wrong because I'm going to watch the game. Yeah. But I see this thing ending tonight and it's going to be ugly.
I tell you what's going to be a telltale sign tonight. The first 2 games and then games 3 and 4. And you've been seeing this pattern throughout the playoffs, but Kyrie Irving, he plays a whole lot better at home than he's been playing on the road.
Great point.
So if he can have a good game tonight, I think the Cavs can be in the game, and I don't think there'll be a blowout. But with how he's been playing this playoffs, he's been lights out at home, and then on the road, it's been kind of disappearing. So If he can have a good game tonight, I think Cleveland has a good chance to win, and then conspiracy guy can be out in full effect.
Boy, I don't even want to see Cleveland win tonight. Oh, the Facebook posts and tweets I would see. Oh my God, conspiracy guy would be in full effect. Oh, it's fixed. It's rigged.
Rigged and fixed would be the top two words.
But you the same people I see posting about making bets right before the series started every damn year. But then you say the game fixed. So what kind of sense did that damn make? Anyway. Welcome to Sentell. I'm your host, Sentell Wyman. This is my guest, Tokiva Dennis. That phone number, because the lines are open now, 864-378-5943, 864-378-LYIF. If you want to get in right now, the lines are open. You want to talk about the NBA Finals. The U.S. Open is starting this week. It'll be contested in Aaron Hills, which is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The golf course is about 11 years old. I know a lot of you casual fans, since Tiger's gone, it's hard for you to even tune into the majors. I'll still watch the majors, so I'll probably watch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But if you want to get in here and talk about anything that's on your mind, and while you're doing that, we're gonna change gears and get off basketball and talk about Vegas has just released their college football over/under. For the top 25. So we're going to go through some of those, give our assessments, even go through some schedule, do some win-loss things. But meanwhile, the lines will be open, so you can comment on our comment box. Or you can follow me at Twitter, which none of you have Twitter. I have no idea what you people live in 2010. Is it 2010? 2017, man. Get Twitter, man. Get freaking Twitter. Anyway.
I don't even own Twitter, sir.
You're not even on Twitter?
Not even on
Man,
Twitter.
Twitter's freaking awesome. That's like news right there. That number again is 864-378-5943. If you got thoughts on the game tonight, thoughts on the overall series, if you have any thoughts on Luke Heimlich, if you got kids and you think this is appalling and it's molestation, and I told you last week, murder, rape, and doing something to little kids, you can't come back from it. I don't even care. Once you get to teenage, adulthood, adolescence, I have no use for you. So anyway, let's kick off this over under. We're gonna start from 1 and work our way down the list. We'll do the top 10 teams, and then we'll do local teams, and we'll do a couple teams that I know who are fans or around this area, and I'll give you my opinion of those teams. So we'll start with Alabama at number 1. The over-under right now is at 10.5. So, over-under 10.5, what you think, big dog? You want to look at the schedule, or you just can look and say, hey, I know.
I know Alabama will be over.
Well, but, just for the sake of this show, let's pull up that Alabama schedule. Let's do that. Let's do that. If I can get it going, if I can be a little faster. Okay, let's go through this. Let's go through this schedule. Okay, of course they opened up with the huge game in Atlanta against the Florida State Seminoles. You going win, loss there?
I'm gonna go win. We gotta, Alabama did lose a lot on the defense, but I mean they've been consistently getting the best players in the country year in and year out, and you got players that redshirted last year that would start anywhere else in the country. So I look for a fight from Florida State. The coach will have his team ready, but I think Alabama pulls it out in the end. So I think that's a W for Alabama.
Now after we get past that first game, I don't think there's a whole lot of analysis needed for the rest of the games. So I'm just gonna call out the team. You gonna win or loss. Home to Fresno State.
Win.
Home to Colorado State.
Win.
At Vanderbilt.
Win.
Home to Mississippi.
Win.
At Texas A&M.
Win.
Home to Arkansas.
Win.
Home to Tennessee.
Win.
Home to LSU.
That's a rival game, but a win.
At Mississippi State.
Easy win.
Home to Mercer.
I didn't even know Mercer had a football team.
Me either.
Easy win.
I think we're going to differ right here. Iron Bowl at Auburn.
Win.
I'm going to say they lose.
I'm not saying it.
I have a hard time ever going 12-0 on anybody's schedule in college football. I can't do it. So I'm looking at this schedule, and outside of that Florida State game, that at Auburn with Jared Stidham, and at this point you would think that Gus Malzahn would be on the high. He have to have a good season this year.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think they lose at Auburn, but
I think that game will be a lot tougher than the rest of the schedule, with the exception of the Florida State game. But yeah, I don't think they lose.
so you don't think they lose to Auburn? Okay, so the over under.
They haven't lost to Auburn since Cam's been in school. Well, maybe one after that. But
Lost
yeah,
one. The kick
one.
six.
Yeah,
The kick six.
Okay, yeah.
So that was Alabama. They was over under was at 10.5. We took the over, which means they will win at least 11 games. Second on the list, ranked number 2 in this way too early preseason poll, Ohio State's over under is at 10. What do you think? Ohio State over under 10.
Let me see the schedule.
Let's pull up this Ohio State schedule. Let's see what they got going on. Okay, make sure y'all pull it. Oh, I know. Yeah, go. Oh, look at this. Look at this subterfuge. They play August the 31st. They start the season on a Thursday night at Indiana.
Okay, that's a win.
Home to Oklahoma.
That should be a win as well. We got Oklahoma. They're going to be adjusting to a new coach with the surprise retiring of Bob Stoops. Yeah, that should be a win for them as well, with a veteran quarterback.
J.T. Barrett been in school 17 years. And Baker Mayfield. This is going to be the battle of the kids who insurance should be really, really low, because once you get to 25, your insurance drop. Because these guys are old as dirt. How is God name is Jared, J.T. Barrett, and Baker Mayfield still in college? There is no way them two should be still in college. There is no way in God's name. At home to Army,
That's a
win.
Yeah.
Home to UNLV,
That's a win.
win. At Rutgers,
Win.
at home to Maryland,
Win.
at Nebraska,
Win.
home to Penn State. Penn State beat them last year. Penn State brings back Chase McSorley. They bring back Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
You know what? I got over under 10. I'm a push. I say they win 10 games, so I think it's one of the games they lose. I think they lose to Penn State.
I'm gonna go over 10.
So that
But
means
this is the game. Yeah, this is the game that they have to win to be over 10. What I think, because I think they lose on the road at Michigan, the final week in the season. So I think this will be the victory that'll put them over 10 wins.
So you got them going. I got them losing to Penn State. I'm pushing. I'm being a coward. If you don't know what pushing means, that means you just go with the number. So they at 10. I push. That means I think they're gonna win 10 games. I think they lose to Penn State. They following week they at Iowa. I think they win.
Yeah, win Iowa.
Home to Michigan State. I think they win. Home to Illinois.
Of course, a win.
I think they win. And I'm with you. I think they lose at Ann Arbor. And because I don't think Michigan gonna forget Wild West. They stole a game from.
Technically should have won.
They stole it. So you going over Ohio State?
Going over. So,
I'm going pushed, which is the weak move of the whole series. Hey, that phone lines are open if you want to get in. 864-378-5943 if you have a question for either of us. Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight at 9 o'clock. Anything else you want to talk about? We're here for you. So get in here. We'll continue with our over-unders at 3. Somebody you should hate equally as much as I hate them. Florida State's over-under is at 9.5. And we're going to pull up Florida State's schedule. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I'm going over Florida State this year. So I'm going to go over. I'll be interested to see what you have. Yeah, of course, that big matchup in the Mercedes-Benz Dome to kick off the season with Alabama. I have them losing.
yeah, I have them losing against Alabama.
Home to Louisiana Monroe.
A win.
Home to Miami.
A win.
Home to NC State.
Win.
At Wake Forest.
A win.
At Duke.
A win.
Home to Louisville. That should be a very intriguing matchup.
Yeah, that should be a win as well.
You think that's a
I
win?
think college football has figured out Lamar Jackson, so I think that should be a win.
Well, I got them at over, so I got them at 10 wins. So I'm going to say they beat Louisville at Boston College,
A win.
home to Syracuse,
A win.
at Clemson. Now, you got them going. Now, you never said you're over under, so what you got them at over under?
I got them over 9.5.
So that
they
means-
they won at least 10 games for the last.
But that's
6
just
years.
a regular season, 9.5, not a bowl
Yeah,
count.
I know. That would mean they would lose at least 2 games. So, I think they lose at Clemson.
At
I think they
Clemson.
lose at Clemson.
I have them winning at Clemson.
At Clemson.
So I have them right now. They would be on for me. They would be right now. They would be 9-1
Yeah.
for me because I have them losing at Bama. I got them beating Louisville. I got them beat at Clemson. We're not going to waste our time with Delaware State. That's a win.
Win.
And they end the season
At Florida.
in the swamp. They have won 4 straight against the Gators. What do you say? What you say?
Because I have them over.
You got
Florida, chances are going to start a first-year quarterback at the University of Florida, meaning either Malik Zaire or Felipe Franks. So, and the game is at home, and you know, of course, I'm a Gator fan, so I hope that the Gators win, but I see Florida State winning a close one at Florida.
I recuse myself. I will give my results predictions. You know, I have a preseason I have a preseason predictor that I do. Look, I got to win at 10 games. So I will let you be the judge of what 2 games I think they're going to lose. But for me, I recuse myself. So I got him over 9.5. He has him over 9.5. Yeah. So that's Florida State at number 3. We both have him over the 9.5 mark. Pop Lee says, I disagree. They will lose to the U. When's the last time you beat Florida State? I'm just asking for a friend. Because I don't know the answer. Do you know? I don't know right offhand. When's the last time Miami, if you're a Florida State fan or a Miami fan, somebody get in here, call me, text me, and let me know last time Miami beat Florida State, because I have no idea. They should have beat. Now I will say they should have beat Florida State last year. Some really shaky things happened toward the end of that Miami game. They was in control of that game all the way to the 4th quarter. Then they got an extra point block that was sent to the overtime. So just a whole lot of weird stuff. But that was at Miami. This game will be at Florida State. I can't see
Miami
him.
will have a first-year quarterback. I can't see
I
it.
can't see that. I don't trust Mark Richt. Never in life of anything trust Mark Richt. Okay, at 4, we have the Washington Huskies, who made a surprise appearance. Not to me, because I had them win in the Pac-12, and you can check the books on that. They are at 4 in this preseason poll, and their over-under is at 9.5. Let me get their schedule up because I'm not totally familiar with it. But their over-under is at 9.5. They lose a lot on defense. They bring back Jake Browning. They lose John Ross. But they have a couple good receivers. I don't know much about the recruiting class from last year. What say you about this 9.5? Or you want to go down the schedule first before you can?
Yeah, I need to go down the schedule. But, I mean, this schedule looks atrocious.
Well, that Pac-12 schedule is always tough because they play 9 games, which nobody else does. It's hellacious, but I'm looking at the outer conference. It's like you looking at the outer conference. It's awful. At Rutgers on a Friday night. They open the season on a Friday in New Jersey. Piscataway.
That should be a win.
He says should be a win. They flying all the way across country. Well, that usually bothers me when they playing Rutgers.
Yeah.
Home to Montana.
That's a win.
That's like the Division III like champ like the last 3 years. That's a tough game from Washington, but they should win at home. Home to Fresno State.
That should be a win.
They haven't been good since the Hill guy was the coach. At Colorado.
This game is probably going to be a little tricky to pick, but Colorado lost a lot, including their starting quarterback, who made them. He had a reasonable season, pretty good season last year.
Pretty good ball. I can't pronounce his name. He's pretty good ball player.
Don't ask me to say his name.
Nah, well, I wouldn't ask you to say his name.
But, I think they win this one with Colorado having a new quarterback.
gonna go under 9.5, which means I think they win 9.
I see 9 on the schedule as well. I think they lose to Oregon and Stanford, and I think the UCLA game is going to be the deciding one that puts them at 9.
I see 9-3. I say they lose. See, they lose at Stanford. They lose at Colorado. The great thing, they avoid USC.
Yeah.
But I still see a loss somewhere. Maybe Oregon, maybe Utah at home, UCLA if Josh Rosen can get himself together.
And Washington State with Mike Leach there. That's
With Luke Whitfall, the Apple Cup, which is at home. They got a friendly home schedule. I still see 9. I just can't see them repeating what they did last year. You're not gonna sneak up on anybody. We know you coming. Plus the defensive losses like Sidney Jones. They lost like the whole secondary, which was out. Buda Baker. Oh God, they lost some guys. So I would say under 9.5. So I would give them 9 wins. So we'll see where they put some in the Pac-12 North race. Next on the list is USC, which the aforementioned USC, the real USC. Matter of fact, there's only one USC. I'm sorry. There's only one USC. I don't even say it like that. It's only one. So their over-unders at 9.5 also. Again, lines are open. 864.
2009.
Hold up. I got breaking news. The last time Miami beat Florida State was in 2009. My daughter was 1. So, I gotta see it to believe it. So, hey man, I feel you. Anyway, the number is 864-378-5943. 864-378-LYIF. Get in here. Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to discuss? NBA Finals. NBA draft is around the corner. College football recruiting heating up. Luke Heimlich, the pitcher from Oregon State. If you want to discuss that, we can. But right now, we're going to get back into our over-unders. And we left off with USC, the men of Troy. They over-unders at 9.5. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now I'm going over. This is the it team. This is one of those it teams like Penn State. So I'm going over.
I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go over 9.5 as well. USC arguably ended the season as the hottest team in college football, and I'm going to go over. We don't even have to go through the schedule on this one.
He said he doesn't want to go to schedule. I will, however, point out it's a huge matchup just for brand name's sake. Yeah, Week 3, they played Texas at home. You talking about a matchup of perennial powers? They probably haven't played since the national championship game. Vince Young. So just for that night, it's an 8:30 start. No wonder. Obviously, the whole that region in the Pac-12 region will be watching that game. So September 16th, that third week, I would definitely want to watch Texas versus USC. But before that, they got a tricky game against Stanford the second week of the season, but they host them. But I'm going over on here. They win at least 10, maybe 11 games.
I think 10 is definitely attainable.
That's the only thing I really see. I see the Stanford and the Texas back-to-back. If they get through those 2 games 3-0, look out. Because the rest of the schedule sets up very favorably. Yeah. Who we have on the list next? We have Penn State, the aforementioned Penn State. Your defending Big Ten champions. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, Penn State actually won the Big Ten last year. Don't be tricked by the Ohio State bias. They didn't win.
It's a whole nother discussion.
they didn't win. They didn't win the Big Ten. Penn State won the Big Ten. Okay, their over under is at 9.5 also. This is one of those it teams. But they have a brutal October stretch of games where they play Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State. That's the first thing I looked at the schedule. I've seen that 3 back-to-back and 2 of them on the road. But I'm still going to go over. I said they win 10. Home to Akron, win. I think they beat Pitt at home, Georgia State at home, at Iowa, home to Indiana, at Northwestern, home to Michigan, at Ohio State, at Michigan State. That little stretch right there, and then they get Nebraska at home. Those are things jump out to me. But I think
I'm gonna go under here.
yeah, I see you thinking because this little stretch,
Yeah,
just 3 to 5 games, right?
Pretty doable. With 2 tough games on the road, back-to-back weeks. But not just that,
anything else you see up there?
I see a slip
you
up,
see slip
somewhere. Yeah. Pitt. People forget that Pitt actually beat this team last year, and
a high scoring affair too.
It's they got Pitt at home this year, but not just that. It's Pitt. I mean that this team is it can slip up. So I can see a loss somewhere in there. I can't say the who, but I see 9 wins.
So you saying 9? So he says 9-3. I say 10-2. I think that stretch of Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, I say they get 2 out of 3 of those, and they get Nebraska at home. So out of those 4 games, and somewhere like you say up in the schedule, maybe at Iowa, home to Pitt, I don't see them losing more than 2. So I got them at 10-2.
Yeah, I'm going 9-3.
9-3. I got them at 10-2. Okay. Oh, here's one that should be near and dear to your heart. At 7, the defending, reigning national champions, Clemson Tigers, and their over-under is 9. So, Mr. Tiger, without looking at the schedule, over-under 9.
9. I'm gonna go over.
He's going over. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I'm cowardly. I'm gonna push. I say they win 9.
The toughest games to me are going to be Louisville and Florida State, and the rest of the schedule I can see. I can see them winning those games. The Auburn will be a tough game. Early season, but that one's at home. With a young quarterback that has. At this time he'll already have a start under his belt at this time. So, I'm gonna go 10-2.
I'm pushing. I see 3 losses. Now no hold my feet to my fire. Yeah. That home game at Auburn is safe. You think he's a safe haven because you're at home. Auburn will be much improved. I think they will be really, really good this year. Clemson with that first year starter, when you lose the kind of veteran leadership, the offensive weapons that Clemson has lost. Now, of course, they have recruited well, but you don't just replace Deshaun Watson. You don't just replace Mike Williams, a Wayne Gallman, a Jack Leggett, an Octavia Scott. I'm missing more people. But the point is, you don't just replace these people. I'm not saying they lose to Auburn, but I see 3 losses. The combination of youth at quarterback, you just naturally take a step back. Now, Clemson has won double-digit the last 5 years, have won at least 10 games. Yeah. So the culture is built as such that they should win their double-digit wins. But I'm looking at a trip to Blacksburg for a young quarterback. That'll probably be a Thursday night game or something crazy. Nah, it's on Saturday. At Louisville, at Virginia Tech, at NC State is always tricky. Always tricky. NC State should have beat them last year. But those are the 3 games that jump out at me most. And I already told you that I think Florida State does beat them in Clemson. So I see 3 losses. So Tiger Nation, y'all can call in with your complaints as soon as I get done. Moving along, I got him 9-3. He has him 10-2. The Clemson grad has him 10-2. That's number 7. At number 8 is Oklahoma. And their over-under is at 9.5. Keep in mind, I think Oklahoma has won double-digit games also the last 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, and have won maybe the last 4 Big 12 championships. I think I got it wrote down somewhere. Yeah, I think, 3 conference championships in the last 5 years. So, yes, Oklahoma. Over under 9.5. I gotta go over. History tells me they're gonna win 10 games.
Yeah, I gotta go over as well. Possibly the only game. I see that will be a real test for them is the Ohio State game. I know. Texas has their quarterback back, so the rivalry is going to be a
that's a neutral site game.
Neutral site, but Yeah, I see at least 10, so I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I mean, I see the. Why are they playing Oklahoma State on November 4th, not the end of the season? Did you notice that? Bedlam is not at the end of the season. Why are they playing West Virginia at the end of the season?
No
That
idea.
has no rivalry consequences whatsoever. Who can Big 12 once again showing you why they're the dumbest conference in all of damn America. Now, how do you
They
take
don't have a championship again.
how do you take Bedlam off the last week and make Oklahoma fly over to West Virginia on a rivalry weekend to play West Virginia? Come on, Big 12. I need you to do better. I'm like you. At Ohio State, they can win this game.
They can.
At Baylor, Tulane, I mean Texas, not yet. At Oklahoma State gonna be tough. Mason Rudolph, huge fan of Mason Rudolph, huge fan of Mike Gundy. But I still can't find more than 2 losses on the schedule. I mean, even if they lost 2 road games at Oklahoma State, at Ohio State, they still beat West Virginia at home, Kansas, TCU at home. So I got them over 9.5. So I see them win at least 10 games. Before we go on, once again, that number is 864-378-5943. 864-378 LYIF. If you want to get in and talk about the NBA Finals, talking about this over-under we're doing right now, Luke Heimlich, if you don't know who he is, pitcher from Oregon State, is a registered sex offender, something he did when he was the age of 15. If you want to discuss that. Also, NBA draft is around the corner if you want to talk about that. Also, you see I'm joined by my just a guest co-host, the one Kiwi Dennis. If you want to talk to him, you're more than welcome to call in. Ask us anything you want. Who is this? Is this Charles Rogers? Oh, Chuck Rogers with the Go FSU. Go FSU. I got you winning at least 10 games. Over under. You're welcome. So we're going to dive back into it. But the lines are open, so don't be afraid to give us a call. At 9, and this is going to be the easiest over-under I done did. Well, no, it won't be, but it's close. Auburn, ranked number 9 in the preseason poll. Over-under is 8.
Yeah, I don't really see nothing. They should at least win 9 games. So I mean, that's probably
Over-under 8 for Auburn.
Should at least win
And
9.
I'm now.
I see three Division 2 teams on that.
This stretch right here, at LSU, at Arkansas, at Texas A&M could be very tricky. But to say they don't, I gotta go over. I can't. This is if Gus Malzahn only wins 8, he would be fired. He had to get at least 9. There's no way he should not get the 9. But this is a tough schedule because they get Georgia from the crossover. But that's 4 weeks in a row. LSU, at Arkansas, at A&M, at Georgia. That is tough. They get a bye week before the A&M game. But that's a lot. And at home to Bama. And these are Vegas. Vegas knows some shit. You got to be careful when Vegas put these numbers out. But I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'll go over. I'll say they win at least 9 based on what I'm looking at. But this schedule at Clemson, at LSU, Arkansas, A&M, Georgia, and home to Bama, that is a tough schedule. So maybe that 8 is not as bad numbers I thought it was.
I see 9, man.
I'm going to stick with my gun. I see 9. I see 9, too. I see 9. Who's next? Michigan is at number 10, and their over-under is at 9. Hadn't seen a schedule yet.
All I need to see is their out-of-conference schedule.
Well, they actually playing a real team to begin the season.
Yeah, I know they got the Gators.
So let's, because last year they played like 9 home games.
Yeah.
And it's a joke out of conference schedule out like that.
Yeah.
And then over under the 9.
10 easy. See 10 easy.
I don't know. I don't know. I
even,
might
even
push.
If they lose to Florida.
I may push.
Ohio State.
I may push.
Wisconsin and Penn State may be tough ones, but yeah, I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go over.
I'm gonna push. They are replacing a lot of talent, especially on the deep side of the ball. I know offensively it should be okay with Will, what's his name, Spate coming back, with Donovan People-Jones coming in. They got a couple receivers, decent O-line, but the defense is gutted. Tough game against Florida to open the season up. And then I see at Penn State, who I really like Penn State. And then the last 3 weeks. Now, I know you laugh at Maryland, but DJ Durkin, former Florida Gator defensive coordinator, I kind of like what he's doing with the program. But this is how I look at the schedule. I see 3 games right there. Now, what are the chances of winning all 3 games? To me, none. They either lose to Wisconsin or Ohio State. They don't beat all 3 of them teams at the end of the season. They either lose at Penn State or Florida. So that's how I look at the schedule. So that's why I get 9, because I see 3 losses in that schedule.
I see 10 wins. I'm gonna go 10 too.
He say he's sticking with Harbaugh on the 10.
I'm
But that's your top 10. So I'm gonna do a few teams that's local that people care about around here. Over unders on their team. And the first over under for the local team is, of course, South Carolina Gamecocks. The over under, and you ain't gonna believe this over under, is 5.5. And I'm so not joking. I wrote it down.
So Vegas don't even think they make a bowl game.
They think they don't even make 5.5. First of all, I'm going over to go ahead and tell you that right now. Yeah, so Gamecock faithful, I believe in you. I'm one of the few people who had you in a bowl game last year when everybody thought you were gonna go 3-9, 4-8. I had you 6-6. You can check the tape or my preseason book I had. Either way, let's roll down this schedule real quick. If you're watching, that number is 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. Don't be afraid to call in and share your opinions and let your voices be heard. We want to hear from you. Makes the show a whole lot more interesting when you guys are calling in and participate. Not just on the comment stream, but get in here. Let's do this. Let's dive into this Carolina Gamecock schedule. Did I mention that over under is 5.5? A very interesting game. This game is not at home. This game is actually in Charlotte, I believe. They open the season with NC State. It's a 3:00 kick. Your thoughts on that first game? This is a tricky game. I don't know which way I want to go.
I think that's going to be a tough game for the Gamecocks. I'm going to go with NC State with this as a loss for the Gamecocks. Mm-hmm. So that's not one of the 6 I see them winning.
I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go get Carolina right here. And I think NC State going to be really good. But it's an opening game. We just don't know what to expect. But I think NC State going to be really good this year. So I'll say win at Missouri.
I think they win at Missouri.
I say win. Home to a much improved Kentucky team. This is Kentucky's have been the nimbus the last few years, but they're at home.
I say a win.
I don't know where I want to go with this.
I say win.
I'm going to say win and then revisit this when I get done. Home to Louisiana Tech.
I say a win, even though their offense, Louisiana Tech offense,
can score some points.
Been pretty consistent past couple of years. I'm going to go win here.
I'll say win at Texas A&M.
I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go win here as well.
He say a loss to Kentucky. I mean, a loss to Missouri, but a win at A&M. I'm just kidding. They lost a lot. Reynolds is gone. Josh Reynolds is gone. Speedy Noel is gone. Trevor Knight is gone. Both the backs are gone. All about who is back is Christian Kirk. Boy, the 12th man. I just kind of like something about Jake Bentley. I like that kid. I think they beat Texas A&M too. I can't trust. You know what? It ain't October. If it was October, I would go there because A&M suck in October. It's an early season matchup. A&M usually like 5-0 every year. Yeah. I'm gonna go Aggies. Home to Arkansas.
I actually see this as the Gamecocks' 5th win in a row, riding a 5-game winning streak.
He has them. at 5-1 right now. I have them at 4-2 right now before I pick this game. Wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right now if I pick them to beat Arkansas, it's October. Arkansas, I'll say win. I got them 4-2. You got them 5-1. At Tennessee.
Now this is a loss.
Tennessee has lost a lot of players. And this typically is a close game. This typically is a really, really close game. And if I'm not mistaken, South Carolina beat Tennessee last year.
They did.
Am I correct?
That's right. But
I think I'm going Gamecocks. So I got them 5-2 right now.
here's why Tennessee wins. By this point of the season, Butch Jones' seat will be so high
That's why they're going to lose.
that the players will come together and there won't be a way that South Carolina can win this game.
That's not how it works. By this time, Butch Jones would have gave so many bad analogies because his team is life champions.
Yeah.
I got Gamecocks. Now, they're 5-2 at this point. I do not trust Butch Jones.
5-2.
I don't trust Tennessee at all. Home to an improving Vanderbilt Commodore team.
I have them finishing 6-6, and I actually think that this will be a loss for the Gamecocks.
I love Derek Mason. Did I tell you how much I love Derek Mason? That's like my favorite non-Florida coach. Like, I would love to play for that guy. I love Derek Mason. They don't have enough offense to beat Carolina at home. I think Jake Bentley, Brian Edwards, the tight end, 81 Hurst. I think Carolina scored a lot of points this year. I don't think Vanderbilt have enough points to keep up. So I got him at 6-2. At Georgia, this is the first one I can just say, look, this is a loss.
Yeah, that's a loss. That's a loss, another loss. So
6-3. Home to Florida.
another loss.
Lost 6-4. Home to Wofford.
This is their 6th win for me. So
7.
yeah, this will put them at 6-4.
And then they played Clemson. Lost.
That's a loss.
7. I got them set. I said 7-5. I looked at the schedule, and damn it, I was right on it. 7-5. You got 6-6.
6-6.
They going either way. It's over.
6-6. It's over 5.
Either way, it's over 5.5, which is just insulting for somebody to have 5.5. That is. I just cannot see somebody have 5.5. Next on the list, Miami Hurricanes. Over under is at never mind. 8.5. I'm sorry, 8.5. Miami at 8.5. Over under 8.5. You want to look at the schedule? You just want to give it. Oh, got a question. Are the Cowboys going to have the same record as they had last year? Do you think guys in the league have enough film on that to set up a defensive scheme to stop him? I think they went 13-3 last year.
13-3.
13-3. You know how hard it is to go. Everything got to fall into place to be 13-3.
Yeah.
They didn't improve on defense at all. If not anything, they got worse. You're right. Sophomore slump is real. People will have tape on that. They will load up the box because they're going to say we're going to stop the run. Not to mention, Doug Free retired. So you got to hit on the offensive line. 13-3, no way. A playoff team, absolutely. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think they finished 13-3. It's hard in this league to go 13-3. Definitely, and then to try to do it in back-to-back seasons is even harder. But I think the league does have enough film on Dak Prescott. Watching film on the Cowboys, all you have to do is just load the box and try to stop Zeke.
It's harder than it sounds to do it.
But I don't think they go 13-3 again. I think like I said, I think they do win the division. But I'm if I had to predict the schedule without looking at it, I'm gonna go like maybe 11-5. But not 13-3.
Definitely not 13. I got them as a wild card. I think the Giants win the division. 11-5, 10-6. I mean, you will take that. I mean, if you make the play, you just want to get in there. But to think you're going to duplicate 13-3, and you didn't improve the area that we know needed to improve in defense, you got worse to me. Your offensive line took a hit. And once again, we got film now. Load the box. Make that beat us. The Giants gave you the blueprint last year, but they got a guy named Jack Rabbit. If you don't know who Jack Rabbit is, that's just Norris Jenkins. He went to school at University of Florida. And they could just take Dez Bryant away. But I think teams are trying to find a way to take Dez and then load the box up. But they're a playoff team. They got too much talent offensively. They have enough on defense to make the playoffs. So they make the playoffs. 13-3, no. Super Bowl, no. So, hey, there you go, Cowboy fans. Where were we? We had Miami at 8.5 on the over-under. Who was that? Bethune-Cookman?
Honestly, the schedule doesn't look too bad.
I'm going over.
I'm going to go over, yeah. I'm looking at the schedule. It's like Florida State is the toughest game on the schedule. And, I know it's Miami. I know they haven't been Miami of old, but the schedule looks pretty favorable.
Mark Richt can go 9-3, dog. We know.
We know that.
See,
he can't do that else. He can go 9-3.
Mark Richt is a 9-3 type of guy.
Yeah.
This is what he done his whole career in Georgia. Bethune-Cookman win. Arkansas State win. Florida State lost. Win Toledo. Can beat Duke. Can beat Georgia Tech. Win at Syracuse. Toss up at North Carolina. Should beat Virginia Tech. Should beat Notre Dame. Should beat Virginia. And maybe lose to Pittsburgh. That's 9 wins. Now, do Mark Richt have a tendency to underachieve? You damn right. But I'm looking at this schedule. They should get the 9. I can't say 8. I won't say 8. I can't say 8 because I'm only seeing Florida State. Every other game is winnable.
Yeah, definitely. Everything's winnable with the exception of Florida State.
I mean, every game is winnable except Florida State. Not saying they're gonna win them because they're gonna lose their fast share, but to get the 9, I think they can get the 9.
I think they can get the 9.
Next team is Georgia Tech. I know a lot of Georgia Tech fans in this area. So let's see Georgia Tech. The over-under, I give you the over-under. 6.5. 6.5. I'm going over just looking at the schedule. That's an intriguing matchup right there at the top.
Yeah, it is. I didn't even notice.
I didn't know till today.
But, this. I think they should win 7 games. I think they do return their quarterback, and he had a down year last year after having a good sophomore year. So I think they'll be back. One more year in that offense with an experienced quarterback is going to be tough on a lot of teams. So. I think 7 wins is easily attainable.
I'm never really a fan of Georgia Tech. Like, they look up. I look up they win 9 games here and there. Paul Johnson wins enough games to keep his job. I'm just never, a fan of Georgia Tech at all. But I'm looking at the schedule, and that opening game against Tennessee, I did not know this. That's on Monday night. It's on Labor Day night. I'll be off work. So that'll be the only game on. So you'll get to see Paul Johnson's wing to your offense live on ABC. Because that's what you want to see on Labor Day. You want to see a triple wing option team 2017. Yeah. But I think Tennessee beats them that first game because the best time to beat Paul Johnson is during bowl preparation in the beginning of the season because you have all off season to practice against that triple freaking option. So I think Tennessee wins that game, but I'm looking at their schedule going. They could get to 7. I mean, that 7-5. I mean, they can get to 7. I mean,
7 easy.
Yeah, easy. I think they can get 7 easy. I don't even want to go through this putrid ACC Coastal Division. It's god awful. It's god awful. They should be ashamed of themselves. A shame. Okay. Let's do Georgia. Let's do Uga. Since we did Georgia Tech, let's do Uga. Let's see what Uga got going on. Georgia's over under at 8. 8? Huh? Georgia over under 8. Look at that 8 Notre Dame game. That's an interesting game.
Yeah, it is. I didn't know that was.
Yeah, they played the second week of the season. Man, this is not an easy schedule. I might.
I see. You say
8. 8.
I'm gonna go over here.
Over, he says.
The only 3 losses I see.
Let's run it out. Let's run down the schedule.
Yeah.
Home to Appalachian State.
Win.
At Notre Dame.
You can win that one.
Home to Sanford. Not Stanford. Sanford.
A win.
home to Mississippi State,
Win.
at Tennessee,
A win. I got to win that too.
at Vanderbilt,
A win.
home to Missouri,
A win.
in Jacksonville against Florida,
Think they lose that one.
home to South Carolina,
Think they win that one.
at Auburn,
A loss with that one.
home to Kentucky,
A win.
at Georgia Tech.
And I think they lose that game.
So you got them 9-3.
Yeah, I got them 9-3.
They beat Tennessee. Over under 8. Let me tell you. Let me say this: Kirby Smart better win 9 games. If he win another 8 games after the win season he had last year, his seat will be so high into the next season. So I'll go over just based on that premise. Who am I looking at? Okay, let's look at one of my homeboys' team, Wisconsin Badgers. Let's see Wisconsin's schedule. The over under is 9.5. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. I'm going over. I've seen this schedule more than once, so I'm going over 9.5. I say they win 10 games.
Yeah, I'm going over. I say they possibly win 11 games. The only loss coming
wouldn't be
there
shocked.
to Michigan. So yeah, I'm over here. Definitely, that's an easy one.
I mean, let's you want to run down this? You want to run down this monstrosity? I got 10-2, and like I told you, I always look at the schedule and I go a group of games, and I say, let's see which can they lose some games in that group. Because you're right. If you look at it individually, there's no game on here other than Michigan, and they get them at home that you can say they lose. But like I told you, I never pick undefeated on a schedule, ever. I can't pick undefeated. Even on Alabama, I couldn't pick undefeated. 11-1. So I'll say 10-2, even though this schedule sets up for 12-0. If they get any kind of explosiveness out of the offense, this could be easily 12-0. But I say 10-2 because I see a much improved Nebraska team. And Michigan is sitting down there, of course. But they always play tough. Iowa plays them tough. And at Indiana's always a tricky little deal. So I'll go 10-2. And at BYU early in the season. That's a tough place to play. So I'll go 10-2. But it wouldn't shock me if they go 11-1.
Yeah,
I would be stunned to go undefeated. But is it possible? Yes. But it's more likely they go 11-1 and 12-0 than 9-3. Yeah. I say 10-2, so I put it in the middle. I got to win in 10. And last, Florida. For Florida fans and myself in general. Let's see. This Florida schedule. And the over-under is at 8. And I'm not even being a homer. I'm going over, and at 8, I'm going over.
I don't even have to really look at the schedule.
And that's not being a homer.
Yeah, it's not.
8, and I mean it's a very favorable schedule. It's a great schedule. We got a lot of home games. And truth be told, we only lost 1 game at home in the 2 years Malcolm ain't been there. It's a little dirty, dark secret nobody knows about. But the big one down in Jerry World, the opening season against Michigan. It's gonna be an interesting matchup. What are your thoughts on that game?
It's gonna be a tough game. I don't want to pick a winner.
I recuse myself. He said.
But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. I honestly see at least 9, 10 wins possibly with this schedule. So yeah, I don't know about this game, but I can see it be a win for Florida.
For me, the ceiling is 11-1. The floor is 9-3. So I'll do this. I'll split the difference for you. I got 10-2. I'm not gonna pick game by game because obviously, if I pick game by game, you're all gonna say I'm a homer and I did this and that. So I'm just gonna say we go 10-2. I ain't gonna pick none of the games because I picked that last game. I have to fight somebody. So I'll just recuse myself. Say we go 10-2. But I'll call it the schedule for you. At home to Michigan, at home to Northern Colorado, at home to Tennessee, at Kentucky, at home to Vandy, at home to LSU. It's a theme here. We got 9 true home games. At home to Texas A&M, the neutral site with Georgia, at Missouri, at Carolina, and then we get home to UAB and home to Florida State. We have a ton of home games on the schedule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 home games on the schedule. That's outstanding. Just take care of home field, and you'll be okay. So we're done with the over-unders. If you want to get in here, talk about the NBA Finals, we can. If you want to talk about the list we just went over-unders, any questions? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kathleen. Before I get to dive into something else I want to touch on, but if the phone number is 864-378-5943. Phone lines are open, 864-378-5943. Anything you want to talk about, Game 5 of the finals tonight. We can talk about the over-unders that we just did for college football, any recruiting news. And before, while I'm on the topic of that, I'm going to give you the team rivals ranking so far. The 2018 recruiting right is currently sits right now at 1. Now this is rivals, so if you go on your ESPN or your 24/7 and you see some discrepancies, I'm reading from rivals. This is rivals team rankings, not ESPN. So don't freak out if you see something that you don't see on ESPN. Right now, Miami is number 1 with 17 total commits. Ohio State is number 2 with 13 total commits. LSU is 3 with 17 total commits. Penn State is 4, even with the I'm going to get to that in a minute. They're number 4 with 13 total commits. Texas is 5 with 12 total commits. Florida State is 6 with 10. 7 is Notre Dame with 12. 8 is Tennessee with 11. 9 is Baylor, your favorite school. Baylor, how in the hell is Baylor top 10 in recruit?
I have no idea.
Baylor, I seen this and I was like, I said, Keith's gonna love this. His favorite school is at 9 with 14 recruits, and at 10 is Nebraska. Local schools right now, Clemson is 14 with 9. South Carolina is 40 with 7. Florida is 28, and Wisconsin is 23. That is your recruiting top 10 and some of the local teams right now. Once again, lines are open. 864-378-LYIF. Get in here. 864-378-5943. Lines are open. I want to switch gears. We've been talking about college football. We're not really switching gears. I have come up with this new method, my criteria on elite college football programs. And I'm going to give you my criteria in just a second. Okay, this is how I break down the elite college football program. This is how I break down my programs. It's not based on one season of events. I have a 5-year window. In each year, you have to add another year. So if you start from this year, so this 5-year window starts from 2012, and it bookends 2016. That's 5 seasons. So next year, it'll be 2017 season. You have to start it from 2013. It's 5-year windows. And this is the criteria for the 5-year windows. Double-digit win seasons. How many conference championships you have. Obviously, national championships that you have. BCS or New Year's 6 bowl appearances that you have. And where did you finish in the final rankings of said seasons? Okay, with that method and with that criteria, I have narrowed down that there's only 4 elite college football programs in college football that meet all my criteria. Now, you can debate on some of the ones that I left off, and we'll get into all of that. But right now, I'm going to give you the 4 elite programs that I think, based on my criteria, that are in college football as we speak right now. Okay. Do you want to add something to some criteria? Do you want to add something to what I just said? Or you good with that criteria?
It's your show. I'm going to go with your
criteria.
With
that criteria?
Yeah,
okay, this is the criteria. Now, all the thing we arguing about right here, because I got 4. Now, you want to rank them. Now, obviously, we know who number 1 is.
Yeah.
My debate is between 2 and 3, because I think I got a clear number 4. And I'm going to read you off this list, and I'm going to start with 4. Florida State. Since 2012, Florida State is 59-9. They have 4 double-digit win seasons. 5 All 4 of these teams have 5 double-digit win seasons. They have 1 national championship, and they finished the rankings in 2012. Hold up. In 2013, obviously, they won that championship. But hold on, let me do it right. 2012, they was 8th. Then they finished first. Then it was 5th. Then it was 1. Then it was 9. So they got 4 top 10s, and then they 1 double-digit finish. But they 59-9. They got 2 conference championships and 1 chip. And 3 in this well spin has between Ohio State and Clemson. Ohio State in the last 5 years is 61-6. 5 double-digit win seasons, 1 national championship, 1 conference championship. They finished the season in the final polls 6, 4, 1, 12, and 3 last year. Clemson, obviously, went 60-9 in the last 5 years. They have 1 chip, 2 conference championships, and they finished 1, which was last year, 2 in 2015, 15 in 2014, 8th in 2013, and they finished 11th in 2012. So that's 3 top 10 finishes, 2 top 5 finishes. And of course, number 1, now if you want to debate 2 and 3, you go ahead. But number 1 is Alabama. They're 64-7 since 2012. They have 2 national championships, 5 conference championships. They finished the season 2 last year, 1 the year before that, 2 the year before that, 7 and 1. So they got 2 chips in 5 years, and all 5 years they were top 10 in the final ranking. So that's my criteria. You have a gripe with any of those.
No, according to your criteria, being a champion is, one of the, only outliers that can, put a team on this list or not. So with your top 4, I don't have any problems with. So the only thing I can see that maybe a little up for discussion is Ohio State and Clemson, between the 2 and 3. During that span, Clemson is 2-0 against Ohio State, so I have a hard time.
That's my head-to-head. That's why I got Clemson at 2.
Putting Ohio State ahead of Clemson because of that. Last year wasn't even close. It wasn't even really a game. So I know head-to-head is big. So that's the only thing I would see. There Clemson as 2 and Ohio State as 3. But yeah, other than that, it's not much to debate from that.
Okay, these are the teams. Now these are teams that to me on the outside looking in. And I came up with about 4 or 5 teams that you could think are the elite. But the problem you're gonna run into it is either they haven't won a chip, which all of them hasn't. Neither has won a chip. But I figure if you went 5 years and you go double figures and you went to like 3-4 BCS games and you played for one, you could be elite.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
My next kind of set of teams that were just on the outside, Stanford Cardinal. So the last 5 years, Stanford is 53-15. They have 2 Rose Bowl wins, but they finished 7th last year. 2012. They finished 11th in 2013. They was unranked in 2014. They was 3rd in 2015, and they were 12th last year. They have 3 conference championships in that time frame. Can you make a case for Stanford being an elite program based on my criteria?
Yeah, based off your criteria, I can see them, being there. They've been pretty consistent. Whether it's been Harbaugh as the coach or David Shaw. Past few years though, definitely been an elite program. How many Pac-12 championships do they have?
3 conference championships in the last 5 years.
Yeah, that has to. I know that the conference has been down, but it has to count for something. So, I can make a case for them being an elite team. With the championship, being the only thing really, national championship being the only thing really, you can leave them off the list for. But I can see them being in the mix.
I got them on the outside because you got to have that chip. and then having the 1 year where you wasn't ranked, in which I think they went 8-5. I think some along the lines of that. The 2 Pro Bowl appearances, I think they're 1-1. But 53-15 the last 5 years for Stanford. Being the 5th and 6th best program in the last 5 years, that's not nothing to sneeze at. I wouldn't call them elite, but that's just me. This is my show.
I can see a case for it, though. I can see it.
And this is my standards and criteria. Okay, Oklahoma, last 5 years, 51-14. They have won 3 conference championships. They went to 4 BCS New Year's Day 6 bowl games. They're 2-2 in those games. Can you make a case for Oklahoma being elite program?
Yeah, you can. They don't have any conference championship game. To me, that's what you need to be crowned a conference champion. But
Well, let me jump in. Now that's the last 2 years. Now they
Yeah,
got 4. So 2 previous years there was some conference championships.
yeah, it was the last 2 years. Yeah, so and, I could see them being listed as an elite program. With the exception of the championship again. That's why they're on your outside, and I can see them being in the mix though. Definitely, if they would have won a championship, then I could see them being an elite program listed as one. Yeah.
I wrote down Michigan State. And people say, whoa, they went like 3-9 last year, right? So that kind of knocked them out the elite range. But prior to that, the last 5 years, Michigan State was 46-20. But what I want you to take note of is in the middle, 2013, 14, and 15. They won 2 conference championships. They went to a playoff, and they finished like 3, 5, and 6 in the final top 10, final AP polls. So, do you have a problem with Michigan State not being an elite team based on the fact they went 7-6, I think, to start of 2012, and last year I think they went 3-9. So I can't make a case for them definitely being elite.
I cannot make a case for Michigan State being elite. I'll give you my final takes on this one before I have to take off. But this is what Michigan State, like you said, the 7-6 and the 3-9 that scares me. Part of being an elite program is being consistent. And if you're winning 3 ball games a season, then that's not very consistent
Well,
at all.
it was just one game, one season, but I think it just that the visual look of being 3-9 for an elite team. Because if you look at the 4 teams that got elite, they don't have those lows. Look at these records: 60-9, 59-9, 61-6. I mean, double-digit win season every year. Only a couple times they finished outside of the top 10 in 5 years. To me, that is elite. That's the definition of damn elite.
I can't crown a team elite though with a 3-9 record. So
No, I don't have them on there. I'm just saying because you would think, okay, what about Michigan? Michigan only had 2 good years. The last 2 years they went 10-3. Before that, Brady Holt, they were 7-6, 8-5, and they have no conference championship in the last 5 years. So people be shocked. Well, how about Michigan? Then people say, well, how about LSU? LSU been pretty good. No, they have no conference championship in the last 5 years. They have been to no New Year's 6 bowl games in the last 5 years. Shocking as that may seem to you, they haven't been good. So some teams that you normally would think about aren't producing as you think they would. I had another team wrote down, which is Oregon. Now, they hit some hard times, but since 2012, they're 49-17. They have one conference championship, and they played in the first playoffs. They got the championship game and lost. But they had the last 2 years have been awful. They got the coach fired, so I don't think you can be an elite program if you get your coach fired.
I was just about to say that. You can't be an elite program in the mix of a coaching change. So yeah,
I don't think you can be elite. And okay, I got one more team wrote down. And it's for my friend because he tells me all the time that they win a lot of ball games. Wisconsin Badgers. Now, it's true. They're 49-19 since 2012. I think they won conference championship, but when they won the conference championship, they were 8-6. Did you know that?
Did we have Ohio State got disqualified?
And they was ineligible. So the one Big 10 championship they have in the last 5 years, they were 8-6. And the highest that they have finished in the AP poll, despite what you may have been told, is 9th. So that tells you they're not elite. Okay, definitely not elite. But somebody tells you that they win a whole lot of games, and trying to convince you that they are one of the upper echelon programs. These numbers tells you otherwise.
Yeah, to be elite, you got to win some conference championships. And I understand, they did win one. It's not their fault that Ohio State, wasn't eligible to play. But, you can't be elite that way. I just don't see this as an elite program. When you go around, you're asking people, to name elite programs or even, top 5 or 6 program. Unless you're talking to somebody from Wisconsin or Demetrius Harris, you have a hard time trying to find somebody to name Wisconsin as a top 5 program. So no, I'm not gonna say they're elite. They're a really good program though. If we talking like NCAA rankings back in the day, they're a solid 5-star program. But I don't think they're elite. No way.
I don't know if I would even have 5-star. I would have them 4. I don't. It only goes to 5. What is 6 or 5?
6. It went up 6.
Oh, I'm with you. Okay. I can't remember. It's been so long. Yeah. I would give them 5 stars. I would say 5 stars too. But according to my criteria and the way I look at programs, there are only 4 elite programs in college football out of 119 schools, and that is shocking to me. And another thing that I want to touch on with recruiting is basically the ties into the fact that elite programming goes along with elite recruiting. We was having a discussion the other day with you was involved in that discussion, and the point was being made that look at the championship team. I mean, I got the last 5 years right here and how recruiting ties into it. You don't win championship with a bunch of 3-stars. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes, not the X's and O's. Everybody knows this. So y'all follow along with me as I read you this. The last 5 champions of college football. The last 5 champions. Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, Florida State, and Alabama again. So what I want you to take note of, okay, Clemson won it championship in 2016. So what I'm going to do is go back to 2012 and go to 4 recruiting cycles before they actually won said championships. So follow along. They won it in 2016. So I'm going to go back to 2012 and tell you how they were recruiting all the way until they won the championship that particular season. And you notice a common trend and a theme here. If you think recruiting don't matter, if you think getting elite talent does not matter, pay attention. So Clemson wins the championship in 2016. So I go all the way back to 2012. That's 4 recruiting cycles. In 2012, they were 14th in recruiting. In 2013, they was 14th in recruiting. In 2014, they was 13th. And in 2015, they was 4. I consider top 15 great recruit, elite be top 10. But the point is you had a top 5 class one of those years, and you was top 15 the other 3 years. Pretty good. Alabama. Okay, go back to 2011, because they won the championship in 2015. They were first. It's a heck of a real trend right here. This you're gonna notice a theme right here. They was first in 2011 to recruit. They was first in 2012. They was first in 2013, and they were first in 2014. So there you go. Okay, Ohio State won the national championship in 2014. So I go all the way back to 2010. Now their first year they was 25th, and I'm pretty sure that's the first year Urban Meyer was there, or the next year he might have been the first year or the second year, or he hadn't got there. That was 25. They was 25th in 2010. 2011, they were 11th. 2012, they were 4. In 2013, they was 2. Elite recruiting. 2 top 15 classes, 2 top 5 classes. Those are your champions. And then Florida State won it in 2013. So we go back to 2009, right? They were 7th in 2009. They were 10th in 2010. They were 2nd in 2011. And they were 6th in 2012. You know it's a trend here. Top 10 in recruiting. Top 5. I mean, that's elite. That's elite recruiting.
Elite, definitely.
Elite recruiting. So Bama is they won in 2012. So that's the last school. Well, I'm gonna give you 2 more schools. This is Bama 2012. So we gotta go all the way back to 08, right? 4 cycles. They were 1 in 08. That was, when you get the Bama recruiting, is a little trend. They were 1 in 09. They was 5. And take a break. They was 5 in 2010. I don't know how the hell this happened. And they were number 1 in 2011. So those are your last 1, 2, 3, 4. Your last 5 champions. And look at the average. If I could average it out, I can't do it in my head. This Clemson guy might could do it. I can't average it out. But if I had the numbers in front of me, I would say these average classes are around. The lowest I see is 25. And that was one season. The other lowest is 14. So if I had to do the math on this, I'm looking at top 10 just average.
Yeah, top 10.
I mean, that's obvious. That's elite recruiting. 119 schools, you top 10. To me, top 10 is elite recruiting. Top 15 is great recruiting. Top 20 is good. But once you reach the top 10, and you guys in the top 10 like every year, you get 3-4 of these classes, you expect it to be probably competing. Guess what? They are. These are the teams that are winning all the championships. And guess what? They are the 14 that I just named at the top elite programs. It corresponds. It's a trend. Elite recruit leads to elite programs.
Not rocket science.
Just say rocket science.
Not rocket science.
So we had an outlier because somebody mentioned Auburn, the Cam Newton team. And I get it because it's one of the teams that didn't have elite recruiting going into it, but they had Cam Newton. So you can't really account for Cam, right? Yeah. Okay, so they won a chip in 2010. So let's go back to 2006 4-year cycle. They were 10th. That's elite. 7th. Definitely elite. But then they went 20 and 19. So that's the one team that I can find in the last 6, 7 years or so that then I would quote, they didn't average elite recruiting. Because I think that would be on the outside. That might be.
Yeah, that's right in there.
That's right at 10, 11.
Yeah.
10, 11. So it's still almost elite. It's still like elite recruiting. But the point of the overall thing is the 4 major elite programs right now in college football, I gave it to you. And then you go look at their recruiting. I mean, it's a parallel. I mean, it's a direct correlation between the recruiting and the damn elite programs that's in the country.
Yeah, that's I don't even understand how that's an argument. You say, well, they're high school kids, and we have talent evaluators actually, going out and evaluating the kids. But we have people that's been doing this for years and years, and they've been pretty good predictor on success for programs based off of getting top programs getting top kids in each year. You have to have the top kids, to be consistent, to be elite. You can win without having top talent, but you can't win championships without having top talent, and that's the big takeaway.
That's the overall thing. And I'll tell you, any football coach, any basketball coach, any professional coach, any coach in the world will tell you, give me the more talented guy every time. Start me off with the talent, and I can fix the other stuff. But give me the most talented guy to start with. Nobody ever says, give me the least talented guy. We'll fix the other stuff later. Well, give me the most talented guy. And it's look at this proof. The last 5 champions, the top 4 programs in the country are all recruiting at an elite level. There's nobody who's steady in the 20s that's winning championships. I mean, it's proven. It's 10, 5. Bama's 1, 5, 7, 1. I mean, they just top 5 in it like every year. Florida State's top 10 in it. Clemson's top. They got some 14 classes, but you get Deshaun Watson in one of those classes. See, and he's a 4-star, so it doesn't bump you up. But when you like the number 1 or 2 quarterback overall, it's just because you're not a 5-star, but you're still the best quarterback in that class. So just because you're not a 5-star, that means something because you are the best quarterback in the class. So just because he went 5-star, but he's the second best quarterback in the class. So that means something. So that was a little walk down some recruiting, some elite programming. Well, we're getting close to getting out of here. A couple minutes, Ashley. I just noticed the time. Damn, we went probably pretty quick. Nobody called. You people said let me be interactive, and I would call the show. I give you an opportunity, a chance to let your voices be heard, to call in, and you don't even call in. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Come on, man. Hope you guys enjoy Game 5 tonight. I know I'll be watching. I'm sure this guy will be watching from somewhere soon. It's about half hour. We're about 40 minutes from tip off. Any last words?
No, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man. It's been fun. You guys, thank you all for listening, and tuning in, and it's a pretty good show, man. I want you guys to tune in, in the future for the show. This guy, he's really serious about his craft, and you guys should really tune in and listen to what he has to say.
Absolutely, man. I did it for you people. I do this for you, man. I did this for you. So support, and y'all watching. I see you watching, but no, you didn't call. I just want you to call too. I mean, maybe you're nervous. Don't be nervous. But we thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. I will see you Sunday night. Possibly Friday. I'll say Sunday. I don't like Friday nights. So I will see you guys Sunday night. Thanks for watching it. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Love you. I am out. Peace.